Watching football on TV in the UK can easily cost over £100 a month depending on who you support. But I'm going to show you how you can legally do it for way less or even completely free. Hey guys, it's Tom here again from Save the Student, and today I'm going to show you all the best cheap or even free ways to watch the Premier League, Champions League, Football League, plus all the other domestic and European cups. And like I say, I'm going to stick to the best legal ways to get Sky Sports, TNT and whatever else, because we all know about how to watch it on a dodgy Fire Stick, but I'm going to stick above board on this one. And if you find this video useful, make sure to drop a like and hit subscribe for loads more stuff like this. Now very quickly, before I show you how to get each channel for less, it's probably worth me sharing how many games each one has in the 25-26 season, just in case you're deciding which one to sign up to. So you can see Sky and TNT are the two biggies. Sky Sports has well over 200 Premier League games, plus every single Carabao Cup game, over 1,000 EFL games, 60 Scottish Premiership games, and over 100 WSL games too. TNT has 52 Premier League games, and it's worth saying that every single non-3 PM game in the Prem will be shown on TV this season on either TNT or Sky. They also have over 40 FA Cup games, plus every single game in the Champions League, Europa League, and Conference League. But there are a few other channels showing some games too, so Amazon Prime isn't showing the Premier League anymore, but it has still got 17 Champions League matches, while the BBC has 14 FA Cup matches and 21 WSL matches, and ITV has almost 20 games across the League Cup and EFL, while Premier Sports has 22 games in the Scottish Premiership. And if you ever want to know which specific game is on which channel, I would really recommend using live-footballontv.com. So it lists every single game you can imagine. It tells you what channel it will be on, and you can sort it by competition, by channel, or by team. So I'm a Fulham fan, and I can see that all of our next few televised games will be on Sky. So if I just want to watch my team and no one else, I don't need to worry about TNT for now. So with that in mind, let's take a look at the cheapest ways to watch games on Sky, and there might even be a way to watch them for free. So occasionally in the past, Sky has shown some Premier League games on some of its non-sports channels, like Sky Showcase, which was what used to be Sky One, and Sky Mix, which is what used to be Pick. And Sky Mix is even on Freeview, so everyone should have access to it. The downside though is that they don't tend to do this that often, and when they do, it does only tend to be on big days in the calendar, like the first day of the season or Boxing Day. But since 25-26 is the first season in a while where Amazon hasn't just shown all the Boxing Day games, there is a chance that Sky might bring this old trick back. So keep an eye out, because if they do, you could be watching Premier League games for free. Other than that though, you are looking at paying for Sky Sports, and obviously the aim is to get it as cheap as possible. Now if you have a TV package with Sky, Virgin Media or EETV, you can get Sky Sports as an add-on. But I'm not going to go into too much detail on that here, because the offers change all the time, and there's going to be so much variation on the price depending on which provider you're with, or if you're going to be a new customer. What I will say though is that in the past, Sky have offered deals where you only pay for the football channels, although at the time of filming this video, that isn't an option anymore. Definitely double check if this has changed by the time you're watching this video though, or if there are any other really good deals about adding Sky Sports to your existing package, because they could end up being the most cost-effective options. Otherwise, if you are super keen to get it as part of your existing package, your best bet is probably just to ring up whichever company you're with and try to haggle with them, and maybe even play the old I want to switch to another provider trick and see if they chuck in Sky Sports for less. But to be honest, my top tip would probably be just to ignore all of that and just look into getting a Now TV Sports membership instead, especially if you only want to watch Sky Sports at certain times of year. So this will get you access to all 12 Sky Sports channels with much more flexibility, because you won't be tied to an 18 or 24-month contract, and it tends to be quite a bit cheaper too. So right now you can pay £28 a month for a minimum 6-month contract, which then goes to $34.99 a month after that. You can also choose to pay a little more at $31.99 a month to just have a monthly rolling contract with no minimum term, or you can pay $14.99 just to get 1 day of access, which might be appealing if it's the last day of the season or if there's a really good Super Sunday. Now you're probably thinking, well, none of those prices are actually significantly cheaper or are actually even more expensive than adding Sky Sports to your existing TV package, and you'd be right, which is why you want to keep an eye out for offers, which you can either find in our deals section on our website or by googling Now TV Sports Pass deals. And even if there aren't any deals around, and I won't lie, there sometimes aren't, there is still a way to get it much cheaper in the long term. And that's if you can afford to pay full price at first. Doing this and then pretending you want to leave can get you a way better price. So just looking at these Reddit threads, so many people have said they've got way cheaper deals from doing this, like 6 months for $17.99 a month, or even the Now TV Sports, Cinema and Ultra Boost passes combined for £24 a month. And to be honest, that doesn't really surprise me, because for the past 7 or 8 years, I've had a Now TV entertainment membership, which basically gets me all the TV shows from Sky. And in that time, I have almost never paid full price because I constantly go through this cycle of pretending I want to leave, then getting it way cheaper for 6 months, like sometimes less than £3 a month, and then going through that same thing again at the end of those 6 months. So while I wouldn't want to absolutely guarantee that you'd get a good deal by threatening to leave Now TV, they are one of the best companies for it. So it's worth a go because it's probably the best way to get long-term Sky Sports access at the lowest price. Moving on to TNT, who show at least one Premier League match a week, and it's usually the lunchtime kickoff on a Saturday. But obviously on top of that, they show absolutely every single game across all 3 European Cup competitions, which is nice and simple. The downside though is that in the past couple of years, getting a discount on TNT has become a little bit harder, and now you only really have a couple of options. The best shout is one you'll probably already know about if you have it, and that's if you're a long-term customer of BT. Because TNT Sports used to be BT Sports, and because of that, it used to be included in BT broadband and TV packages. And if you did have this, then you might now be eligible for a free Discovery Plus subscription, which is what TNT Sports now streams on as part of your EETV package, which is what BT TV has now become. Confusing, I know. So I'll link to it down below, but this page has a super useful summary of who's eligible and what package you'll get. But basically, if this applies to you, you can watch TNT Sports for free. Now, as with Sky Sports, there's obviously also the option to add TNT Sports to your existing TV package, whether you're with Sky, Virgin Media, or EETV. But again, because these offers can vary a fair bit depending on if you're an existing customer or not, and if you are a customer who you're with, I'm not going to bother going through all the prices here. Instead, I'd recommend just checking out the offers for yourself and seeing if it works out any cheaper than the other options I'm going to run through here, including if you're an EE mobile customer, in which case it is worth checking to see if you can get TNT Sports added to your plan as an inclusive extra. Now, to be perfectly honest, the plans that have inclusive extras are not the cheapest. In fact, they're quite literally the most expensive. So you can see that the only ones including the option of TNT Sports are the full works plans, which cost £48 a month. This does get you unlimited data, no roaming charges, and a few other things too, but in my opinion, it is still a big cost to justify, especially as these are only SIM-only plans, so you're not paying for a phone too. But you can see at the top, it says you can save money if you're an existing EE customer adding another line to your account, and that will bring the cost down to £33 a month. Obviously, you or someone you live with will already need to be an EE mobile customer, but if they are, this could be an okay option. But I would say, in general, you can usually get all the data and whatever else you want from a SIM-only plan way cheaper elsewhere. Otherwise, you can also see it says you can get deals even cheaper if you're an EE broadband customer, and you combine your mobile and broadband deals to get EE1. Now with this, the full works SIM-only plan comes down to £29.50 a month. So let's have a look at how that stacks up against other deals. So if you look at our guide to the best SIM-only offers, you can get 60 gig deals for about £10 a month and 100 gig or more for around £12 to £15 a month. Now obviously these officially aren't unlimited, but for most people they basically are, because unless you're almost never connected to Wi-Fi, or if you stream a ridiculous amount over data, you're never going to get close to using that much. So if we treat these as a benchmark for essentially a cheap unlimited data plan, you can assume that in this £29.50 plan, anything between £10 to £15 of it is taken up by the data and the minutes. So then even if we disregard everything else, your TNT inclusive extra is effectively only costing you between £14.50 to £19.50 a month, which is seriously cheap. The only other thing I'd say though is that getting your broadband through EE won't always be the cheapest option. So unless you're super keen to get TNT Sports and you want it every single month, it might be cheaper to get a separate broadband deal elsewhere, a separate SIM deal elsewhere, and get TNT separately as and when you want it. Oh, and one last final tip on watching TNT Sports for free. When it gets to the end of the season, the Champions League, Europa League, and Conference League finals are all available to watch completely free on the Discovery Plus app. So don't pay for a subscription if that's what you're looking to watch. Moving on to Amazon Prime Video, and as of the 25-26 season, they are not showing any Premier League games anymore, just the Champions League, where they're showing 17 games this year. But because they had the first pick of all the broadcasters every single round, they tend to have one of the biggest games of the week, and they usually go for an English team too. As I say, the fact that they only have a relatively small number of Champions League games means it's probably not worth paying for Amazon Prime just for this, which is why it's great that there's an easy way to get it free for over half the season. So if you're a student, you can get a free 6-month trial of Amazon Prime Student, which includes all the benefits of Amazon Prime. So we're talking unlimited one-day delivery, exclusive discounts, Prime Video, which includes the sports coverage, and loads more. So if you time it well, you could watch all of the big games in the important rounds for free and get your Christmas shopping delivered for free too. So given that you can watch the final for free anyway, you only need your Prime subscription to last until the semi-finals are done, and the last of those will be on the 6th of May. So as long as you start your 6-month free trial on the 6th 6th of November or later, it will last until the last semi-final has wrapped up. And once the free trial ends, you'll only be paying $4.49 a month, which is half the regular price, so arguably still worth it if you think you'll use all the benefits, but obviously remember to cancel it if not. And if you're not a student, then don't worry, you can still get a free trial, but it will only last 1 month and you'll be paying full price after that. It's still only $8.99 a month, so not awful, but still worth thinking about if you'll use it enough to justify paying. And finally, in terms of the games on BBC and ITV, obviously you don't need a subscription to watch these channels, but you do need a TV license, unless you don't. Now, if you've been following Save the Student for a while, you might have seen us talking about the student TV license loophole, and if it applies to you, you could watch live TV and BBC iPlayer without paying for a TV license. So you need to meet 3 criteria, and that's if your parents or guardians or whoever else at your main address has a TV license, if that address is your main address, in other words, it's where you live when you're not at uni, and if you're watching on a device powered by its own battery, so a laptop or a phone or an iPad that isn't plugged in and charging. If all 3 of those things are true, then you do not need a TV license, and as you can see, TV licensing themselves have even confirmed to us that this is 100% legit. And there you go, those are all of your best options for watching football on TV for less or even completely free. And of course, failing all of that, you could just go to your local pub or student union and watch the game for free there. You don't even have to buy a drink. So if it's helped you out, make sure to hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time with loads more money saving tips.